California State University system giving everybody on their campuses a subscription to ChatGPT. I'm not sure, I'm really skeptical that a chatbot, even a powerful one like the one that like ChatGPT, is actually an educational tool. And so I'm hesitant to say that's a good idea, but it's certainly a big idea and a big investment. $16.9 million is a lot of money to sort of experiment with. I've talked to people who are on CSU campuses, but I've not like actually gone on and worked with the tools there. But my impression is that they basically gave everybody a subscription, and maybe not everybody yet, but they're working on getting everybody a subscription. And there just wasn't much in the way of guidance or sort of framework or training around this. They put up some videos from LinkedIn. They pointed people to OpenAI's website and said, "All right, go learn." And that just doesn't seem like it yielded much in the way of anything more than was already in place, which is a lot of students trying out ChatGPT to do educational related tasks. And a lot of faculty members going, "Wait a minute, what's going on here? This doesn't seem like education to me." But that sort of idea of implementing digital tools is what we do. It's our habit, right? Well, AI, generative AI in particular, is a digital tool, but it's also something different. It's a little bit off. It like does something else, probably a lot more than we can even think of or imagine using it now. And so that difference for me really argues for taking a more incremental and experimental approach to how we implement it and not just going, "Oh, OpenAI is a vendor. They do enterprise licenses. Let's just sign a license." I had a chance to use a large language model in my class, and I was really resistant to the idea that I wanted it to be a teaching assistant. I didn't want it to replace me. I didn't want it to answer random questions. I wanted to use it as a tool. And so I'm very fortunate because where I teach, the Penn Grad School of Education has a center, the Center for Learning Analytics, that set up GPTA, which is a large language model meant to be used for instructional purposes. And it's largely used as a TA. That's why it's got the name it has. But I wanted to do something a little different. So I called up the director and said, "Hey, can I use your fancy model?" And he said, "Sure, work with these two people." And those two people were, one is now an assistant professor who studies these models. And another was a grad student who has been working on developing the model. And so they worked with me to understand my educational goals and how I wanted to use the model. And then we worked together to configure the model to do what I wanted it to do. I mean, my big tip is just experiment. I mean, that's, we don't know enough about this technology to know what it can do. And the only way we're going to find out is by using it and trying it out and seeing how things go. And then I always caveat that by saying, and it's okay not to. Like there's this expectation that professors must learn everything about AI in order to teach it. And I just think that's got it reversed. Our students are going to learn a lot more about how to use AI. And so when I in my own practice, what I try to do is say, "Hey, students, teach me what you're doing with this tool so I can understand it better instead of trying to position myself as an expert."